So hey everyone, how's it going? It's John from WGC. It has been a little while since I've done a pedal board. I had been talking about working on a new pedal board for a little while, and I think I've actually done it. I think I've got the board I want. You can see in the top-down camera today that I have going on. Let's just get started right into it. Before I pull out the guitar, let's just walk through the board. So I'll put the top down, and all right. So to start off, let's just go through what the board rundown is. It's a smaller board now. It's a Pedal Train Novo 18, and it is also powered by the Walrus Audio Canvas 15 power. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pedals. So I needed one that was a little bit bigger. We go tuner right into the Bloom compressor into the Morning Glory into the ODR into the Lely pedal, Lely out of the Emperor stereo to the HX Stomp, which is running all of my modulation effects that aren't the Emperor, delay and reverb, stereo out of this into the two Tonexes, Canvas stereo. I also have this Mission TT2 that's doing my flanger and my Pog effect, as well as the red remote to control the secondary gain stage for what I had. I want to change some stuff up, and everyone's been suggesting these Tonexes to me. I had been fighting it for a while because I had gotten a defective Tonex once, and I don't even know if it was. I mean, I think it was defective. It had some issues with like captures and stuff, but anyways, so I was hesitant to buy them again. But I kept getting harassed by Patrick, so shout out Patrick for that one. Yeah, let's run through what I have, maybe run through some tones, and then we can talk about how I dialed them in and go from there. So let's grab. All right, so we're going to be using my Gibson SG Standard today. This is a very sentimental and awesome guitar for me. I bought it this year in Nashville when I went down for the first time. Shout out to my wife for letting me, helping me get this and stuff. It was very cool. I regretted telling my SG tribute I had in this picture here immediately after I sold it, so shout out to her for that. But anyways, so my Tonexes are the Jake Falber Teddy Tones, Head Coach, and Redbird. Both of them number 3, the EF86 low input. So here is my stock tone. I'm doing the green compressor color from the Bloom into the Morning Glory. I love the Morning Glory kind of always on, but let's just start with the tones without anything on there. Okay, so I'm going to show you the Tonexes just stock with no effects on them. So I'm just going to mute my microphone, just play real quick for you. A lot of character, love them. Honestly, I'm really happy with them. They have a ton of character, and then just the neck pickup. Yeah, they sound awesome. Next, I'll show you the compressor. Like I said, this is the green, so I was running the purple for a long time, and the boost always on. I had the blend all the way up. I'll show you in the overhead cam, and this at about like 3 o'clock-ish. 2:30, 3 o'clock-ish. When I switched to the Tonexes, they just needed something different. And so I put the blend a little more towards the middle, and I actually brought back the mix a bit. I actually brought back the compression a bit. I was running the purple still for a little while, which is like their R&B one, and I just felt like it was just losing some low end, so I switched to the green, which is like their country chicken picking style one, and I really like how it sounds. Here it is. All right, if you can tell what that is, shout out to you. All right, so yeah, I'm running that always on because I just enjoy an always on compressor. It also has this boost where so when you buy the Bloom, I believe the standard mode is that it blooms, like it literally blooms, and it kind of wubs in. I don't know the actual term for that clearly, but if you take out the dry, like if you can basically, when you return it up, you can do it just as a straight boost. So I have it like that. I'm trying some different things right now with this board. So instead of leaving the Morning Glory always on, even for like super clean sections, this would be what I would be using normally. And then if you, actually, I'll show you my reverb in my delay. It sounds great, but I think for like a more dialed back sound, I just with a little bit of spice on it, this is what I'm sounding like with just the Bloom and the Morning Glory off. It is ever so slightly different, and I really enjoy it right now with that. So again, yeah, it's just really fun. So next, like I said, I'm leaving that off. This is kind of my stock tone right now, is the Morning Glory on with reverb and delay. It sounds like this again. Yeah, so it sounds great. I'm really happy with it. Next is my stack. So I really enjoy stacking the ODR with the Morning Glory, kind of like I call it a protein, my like fake protein. So that's this. Sounds great. And just so you at least hear it once, here's the ODR without the blues breaker. It sounds awesome. I'm really happy with it. All right, so the red remote. I want to do something a little different this time. If I use the Bloom and the ODR, which I didn't want to do, I wanted something in between. Like I like the single high gain thing, like the ODR does, but I wanted something that had a little more mid to it. So I brought the red remote on just for the Morning Glory's red, and it sounds like this, and I actually really like it. Just gives this cool little mid section, and I can always Bloom boost it, so. Just a fun way to change some stuff up. So yeah, all that is my drives that are before the Lely. Next, we go into the Emperor, and man, I love this Emperor pedal, and I don't use it like a traditional chorus. I mean, I do, but it fuzzes a little bit. I don't know. In my head, it makes an extra like noise that I don't understand, but I really like. So here's just it as it is with no drive. So pretty straightforward chorus. This is where actually, so this is what I'm excited to show you guys. I'm using the Stomp. So, okay, little backstory. I have been a Helix user since day one. I was this like a 212K custom thing with a really generic Digitech, and then I went Helix, and I never looked back until just over a year ago. So I went down to a Helix Stomp or an HX Stomp so I could have some pedals that I really wanted to try. Like I love JHS stuff, as you can tell, but I didn't really want to give up the Line 6 stuff because I'm so used to it, and I'm used to the interface and everything like that. So I'm doing something different this year. I'm using this just for effects, and I'm really happy. Now, I know I could have used the HX effects, but I like this also as a backup in case something goes down. So I'm using a vintage delay on a dotted eighth note and a glitch reverb as my standard. Just you've already heard that, but one more time. My super ambient patch, like my swell, which sounds like this. really standard stuff. I was stacking that with the Cloudburst when I had it, so I've been using that reverb for quite a while. I have a Pog sound, which is this. Super I like a low mix just because I don't want that to be overbearing because it's already a very mid-focused board. This is the new one for me though. I'm using this flanger effect, and it is if I look at it, the harmonic flange, and I have it on a pretty low, it's at 50% mix. It's very subtle, and I'm using it, I feel like, just to be like almost like a stereo widener. So before, now is it? It sounds great. I'm really happy with it. And instead of doing like a MIDI controller, which I was looking at like an MC6 or an MC3, I just decided to keep the TT2 and just put some tape on it because I don't really use MIDI, and to spend all the money on a MIDI controller that I don't use feels not like a wise decision. Plus, I could have 2 more guitars. So there is that. Next, this is kind of my own creation. I'm calling this my synesthesia pedal. I am taking this from David Hislop. I just watched his new board rundown video, and he had this synesthesia pedal with an envelope, like some kind of Dimension C and a radio or like a record filter. I don't know what it was. It was very cool sounding, and I really liked it, and I wanted to try and recreate it, so I made this little synesthesia patch for myself. It is a Dimension C and a Flex Vibe 24 in the HX Stomp, the vibrato, and it sounds like this, and I'm really happy with it. Now is it? Just a fun extra effect with some drives. Yeah, so that's pretty much, those are all the different effects. It's pretty minimal, I would say, for me. Normally I'm having these really, really complicated like HX patches, and then a really complicated board with MIDI. Then I went down to nothing. Then I went back, and now I'm just kind of in this middle sweet spot where it's like I have 2 drive pedals, but I really have more options like the Morning Glory, Blue, Red, the Bloom, Boost, the ODR, and then some stack options. I have a ton of drive options. Holy Ground. So like the intro to Holy Ground by Passion, I'm using like the JHS Emperor, the Pog, the Glitz, like the high reverb, my ODR, Blue Channel, and it sounds like this. I like it. It sounds super fun to me. So one thing that was different with the Helix Stomp amps opposed to the Tonexes, I had to add quite a bit of mids to the Stomp to really get that to shine through. So this is more in the middle. The drive is brought down because I wanted it to stack and not lose and compress a bunch. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I have. Other guitars I'm currently using, I can actually show you guys those. I'm also still using my PRS Silver Sky with a little 58 in the bridge, and it sounds like this. I would call the SG my number 1. I would call this maybe my number 2, just because it is such a different flavor than the SG or the other PRS I'll show you in a minute. But here's this, just kind of without any adjustments. sounds great. If I feel like it's a little low, I did add a gain block here just to push that a little bit more, just to show it to you. This is quite a bit darker with this little 58 because it's a little mini humbucker. I enjoy it. It's cool. It's got something different to it. And when I want to just switch it up. And then finally, I have one more guitar. This last guitar might be my prettiest guitar. It is the Zach Myers 594 semi-hollow by PRS. It's an SE. It's one of the only SEs that has a figure or like a matching headstock, which I thought was kind of cool too. Sounds like this. I would say it's probably my darkest guitar. I also haven't changed the strings on it in a while, so it could be a little dead sounding. This tends to be, actually, I play this, funny enough, even though it's a Shinedown guitar, it's not, even though because of the looks of it, just without knowing, with the F-hole. I play this mostly for, like, rock and metal, like specifically, like, hard rock. I just think it's a fun hard rock guitar because it's a little darker sounding. It always sounds really good with a high gain mix. So, yeah, I mean, that's my board pretty much. That's the 2024 board. The only thing I think that could maybe find its way on here is another boost pedal or some kind of different overdrive to accompany the ODR one or contest it, maybe the better way to say it. It's something to contest the ODR one, just to spice things up and keep trying. But that's my 2024 board rundown. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, hit them in the comments down below. Always happy to help and answer stuff. Until then, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Where's your gear coat?